Hello everyone, welcome back, Servitus here, coming back with a new part of What If Deku Was in a Comic a Kill, and well, let's just get right into it now, shall we? Where we last left off, Midoriya was preparing for another day out of the castle to hang out with Esdeath, since, she still want to go on a date with him. Well, another one, since she could never have enough of him. This time, he decided to pick where they're gonna go. Because last time her way of picking up dates wasn't exactly the most pleasing for him. So he decided to do it himself this time, and, well, she was happy to let him pick a date this time. After all, she did pick the last one, or the first one. Regardless, after Midoriya waiting for her outside of their room, seeing her come out wearing truthfully and honestly, a very cute outfit that did make him blush a little. Eventually, they both left and start walking down the streets in the city. Alone, she didn't want anybody following them. Not run, not guards. I mean, let's be real. If anybody tries to jump on both of them and kill them, are they really gonna be able to do it? On one hand, you have General Esdeath. On the other, you have Midoriya, who's may not be as, trained as she is, but still very powerful in his own right. Regardless, Midoriya and Esdeath are just walking down the street with Esdeath clinging to Midoriya's arm like the lover she is, pressing herself against him, making sure that he will never disappear out of her hand, never slipping away, scared at any moment he might just disappear. As they're just walking down the street, Midoriya is a little nervous. He just really doesn't know how to feel about this, and she's squeezing his arm quite hard as he's saying in his mind, when she asked me that she want to go on a date, I didn't think she'll be this clingy. Well, at least I'm not inside of some sort of a dungeon where she has to. I don't even want to remember it. As he just thinking of yesterday's date and how she made him learn a little about human anatomy. Let's just keep it at that. Regardless, as they're walking together, Esdeath said, "So what should we do first?" And Midoriya said, "Well, I'm sorry. Truth be told, I really don't know what to do. I don't know the capital as much as you, so I don't know where most of the things are. Sorry." As Esdeath said, "It's alright. How about we first go into, a walk in the park?" As Midoriya said, "That sounds good." And so they do. Midoriya and Esdeath just go ahead and take a walk. And as they walk around the park, passing by a few families, some children's just playing ball or throwing some frisbees, and one that almost flew right into Esdeath's face, Midoriya managed to catch it before it hit her, and as he does, he just, the kid runs at him, apologizing for what happened, and Midoriya just gives him back the frisbee. Nothing much. He looks back at Esdeath and wonders if she's alright, and, she's just smiling happy. She didn't even flinch when that thing almost hit her, which made Midoriya wonder. He asked her, saying, You didn't flinch there. Did you see it coming?" As she said, "Oh yeah, I did. I was just wondering if you will catch it before I do." As Midoriya, realizing that Esdeath could have probably stopped that thing from hitting her. She just did not do so because she wanted to see if Midoriya would jump in to protect her, which she was happy to see. And it just warmed her heart. Warmed her little frozen heart. After a while, they crossed on top of a bridge over a lake, and Esdeath looks into the water to see a bunch of, duckies following their mother as they spin around and make cute noises, and Midoriya watching her as the wind blew through her hair. She's just staring at these little ducks, and Midoriya's, he feels so off about it. This just feels wrong. Why does this feel wrong? He's just having a date with Esdeath. yet she looks completely different, like a completely different person than the one he knows, the hard, cold, murderous general that Najinda spoke to him about. It's not the same woman who's pretty, elegant, and calm and quiet that he's now seeing staring on, well, the ducks in the water. As Esdeth proceeds to talk, saying, I wonder, those ducks are following their mother, but where are their dad? As Midoriya said, As she continues saying, haven't you ever noticed how little ducks always follow their mother, but their father's never around? And Midoriya stares at Esdeth. She's making a good point. Why do they never see ducks following their father? Or at the very least, the father is around. As Midoriya said, I assume he'll be at the nest? And Esdeth said, shouldn't be the opposite? Isn't it normally the woman who stays in the house and while the father is the one that goes outside? And Midoriya said, yeah, I mean, not necessarily. As Esdeth continues saying, well, that's how my father used to do it. He used to take me outside to hunt monsters, and my mother would spend her time cooking in the house. And Midoriya, well, hearing that, he actually never thought about it. Who is Esdeth other than the general he knows? Regardless, after a while, a guy walks up to them and, offers some bread to feed the duckies, and well, Midoriya paid for it. Thought it might be a little calming, so him and Esdeth just start throwing some bread in front of the lake for ducks to come around. After a while of Esdeth just enjoying this, though the ducks, one of the little ducks, when she, reached to touch it, her mother immediately bit her finger. And Midoriya said, you okay? And Esdeth said, I'm fine. But this thing bit me. And Midoriya said, it must be sensing how dangerous you are. You're a little intimidating, And Esdeth said, do you find me intimidating? And Midoriya looks at her, and she looks a little sad, almost waiting to hear words of encouragement, like a little puppy looking at his owner, wondering if he did anything bad. And that look on her face is so adorable, admittedly. As Midoriya said, a little, but not at the moment. At the moment, you look pretty. As Esdeth's smile, hearing Midoriya compliment her looks, makes her happy, and makes her contemplate turning this duck into, well, their lunch. Regardless, Midoriya and Esdeth left the park after a while, and decided to go shopping. Esdeth takes Midoriya with him, and she proceeds to, first of all, shop with him. She wants to see him put on different outfits. It's a thing she got from Bulls, since she did ask Bulls about a few things before this date comes around. She wanted to know all about what he normally did with his wife when they were dating. And, well, he gave her a few ideas that she's now trying out. First of all, she proceeds to use Midoriya as a model, where she tests a bunch of outfits on him, from fancy suits to normal everyday outfits, and just all around enjoying seeing him modeling for her. Eventually, after a while, she proceeds to ask him to watch her as she puts on a few outfits. Some dresses, some fancy ones, a maid outfit, a nun's, just a bunch of costumes, and eventually she proceeds to go into swimsuits, and it's when he just turned his eyes around and stopped looking, which Esdeth start asking if he thinks she's not, doesn't look good in them, but he start fumbling his words all around, which she finds as adorable as always. She always loves seeing him flustered. It makes her heart melt. In the end, after buying a few outfits, they proceed to go to have lunch. And Midoriya and Esdeth are right now sitting in this very famous romantic restaurant, which, when the person in the cashier sees them and sees General Esdeath for a second, well, Esdeath just put her name out saying, "Will you have a reservation under the name Esdeath?" As well, the woman said, "Oh, yes, Lady Esdeath, please follow us." As she immediately takes her into a VIP room, a VIP seat on top of the building with a beautiful overview of the entire empire. Alone, no noises can be heard. It's the floors only for those two. And so Midori start, well, enjoying the moment. I guess it's a very beautiful day outside while Esdeath's just staring at him, staring right through him. She could never get her eyes off of him. He's so adorable, and she just want to take him out. And Midori returns looking back as Esdeath as their eyes just... they stare into each other's eyes for a moment, him blushing while Esdeath just leaning her head on her hand, saying, "You know, even though we're dating right now and I know a bit about you, I don't know a lot about you. Maybe we could use this moment to know more about each other?" As Midori said, what do you want to know?" As Esdeath said, "Tell me a little more about that place you came from. Across the seas, the land of the rising sun." As Midoriya said, "Oh, well," he started explaining a bit more about Japan, how it's, separated into different regions and whatnot. He's from a specific region. There he's a kid who goes to school, but eventually he wanted to go out and become an adventurer to see the world and what's not. And Esdeath said, "I would like to see that place that you came from one day." And Midoriya said, "Absolutely not." As Esdeath is taken back by that for a second, and Midoriya silenced himself for a moment, because the realization of hearing Esdeath talk about his world terrifies him. He knows what Esdeath did, he knows what kind of person she is, and he heard the stories from Najinda. She is a monstrous, bloodthirsty killer who seeks war just for entertainment. What do you think she'll do the moment she realizes that there are worlds beyond her own? Absolute nightmare is what will it be. And so he, goes back a little, saying, I'm sorry, I mean that I don't want you to come by the place I came from, because I don't trust you that you will not leave the place in one piece." As Esdeath said, "So you think I will just wage war in your, empire?" As Midoriya said, I don't mean," as Esdeath said, "Oh no, you are completely right, I would wage war on it just for the hell of it. But, I can't promise not to do so if you promise to take me there one day." And Midoriya said, "You really want to see it?" And Esdeath said, "Absolutely." And so Midoriya promises her, "Maybe one day I'll take you." That's a promise, which she's happy to hear. Eventually their food comes around and they start eating. Esdeath decided to feed Midoriya and waiting for him to do the same to her. And well, she does, and he does as well. Eventually, once their plates are finished, the butler comes around and he gives them he was about to say that it's on the house, but Midoriya demands that he pays it. Though Esdeath said, as Midoriya said, "No, please, let me do it," as he uses some of the money that he has. After all, Esdeath did owe him for winning that little tournament when they first met. So he has quite the money in his pockets, so he puts a few coins inside a bag and hands it over to the butler. As the butler just looks inside the bag, nods his head and thanks them for coming and wishes to see them again, and gives them a little gift before both of them leave the place. And with that being said, Midoriya and Esdeath eventually return to the capital and the castle, while on the other side with the butler that Midoriya gave the money to. He gets his shift over and proceeds to go behind walls and leave the place in an alleyway.
The butler walks down it, and then he looks inside the bag of money that Midoriya gave him a moments ago. As he opens it up, he looks inside and he sees a letter with a deciphered code. As suddenly the butler starts steaming, and the butler transforms into Chelsea. As she looks into the message, and it reads that everything that Midoriya knows about the Empire so far, that was their plan. They wanted to deliver a message. How else could Midoriya ever return the informations to Nitrate? And that's why he made this plan with Chelsea. A plan to take Esdeath out on a date, and to make it seem so normal, to make it seem very inconspicuous when he's sending a letter. By paying the bill of this date, he proceeded to add a little extra tip on top of it, if you know what I mean. Takes the bag of money saying, well, he's doing fine so far. I wonder how long he'll last. Eventually she goes by, takes a different face, and proceeds to return to the hideout of Nitrate. While Midoriya and Esdeath on the other side return to the Empire. After another 2 days, and Midoriya just continued training with Esdeath, eventually a month has passed of him just living with the Jaegers. He got to know them all very well. He met all of them and understood them, and he even talked with Bulls and understood how Bull is, well, he's a good person at heart that claims that he's, well, not really a good person, someone with karma, and Midoriya sees him. It's, even though he can't see his face, this guy is so pure. And he even got a little more sick of himself when he saw his family, his wife and his daughter, and how happy they look. It brought happiness to his, well, to him, yet sadness at the same time. Regardless, Midoriya, Esdeath, and every other member of Nitrate, apologies, little muscle memory there, Jaeger Squad, proceed to continue with a new mission, because those weird monsters that Midoriya claimed to be Nomos, as he called them, so the rest of the Jaeger Squad start calling them such, are still around the capital. And right now Midoriya is going with Esdeath in the middle of the night on top of her flying manta ray while they're scouting from the top. Midoriya is using his, eyes to look down while Esdeath is just flying, driving the manta ray, and Midoriya looking around saying, I can't see anything at the moment. Doesn't seem to be any monsters nearby. As Esdeath said, well, that's good. Keep your eyes open. Hey, Izuku, isn't it tonight's beautiful? The moon is full? And Midoriya said, yeah, I guess. And Esdeath said, quite romantic, isn't it? As Izuku said, in a way. As Esdeath just looks over her shoulder at him, and Midoriya is just looking to the other side saying, what is she on about this time? Even in the middle of a mission, she can't stop thinking about how romantic the scene is. Get your priorities straight, woman. And all of a sudden, Midoriya notices something using his spectator. He notices a danger beast down below, as he said, there's something down there. As Esdeath and Midoriya float down there immediately. Eventually they land, and Esdeath looks left and right saying, where's the monster? And Midoriya said, I saw something for a second there. And suddenly Midoriya gets a stabbing sensation in the back of his head, and he immediately turns around as he said, you there! Get out of there! I know you're there! As immediately Esdeath looks in the direction where Midoriya is looking at, and she realizes that yes, there is someone there. She can sense him. Yet it's impressive that Midoriya sensed him before her. As the person behind the stone shows up saying, well, I guess nothing comes, I can't really get behind a view, can I now? Quite the nice senses you got. As Esdeath looks to see this guy, and she starts wondering who is he and if he's responsible for all of these monsters. And as Midoriya, looks at him, he said, wait, I remember you, kid. You were that kid I brought in with those extra monsters. As Midoriya said, wait, what? And Esdeath looks at Midoriya saying, you know this guy, Midoriya? As Izuku said, I don't know him. As he said, yeah, you definitely probably don't know me. Well, regardless, I think it's time for me to send you both away. I can't exactly take you on, so I'll just let my little monsters do the trick. As he takes out his hand, saying, "Now lay your hands as I use my imperial arm, Shimbala." As immediately Midoriya sees the thing in his hand, and he said, "Wait, Shimbala? It can't be, could it?" As a light shines beneath Midoriya's feet, a yin and yang symbol that brings cold shivers down his spine as Esdeath tried to go attacking, but both of them are teleported away. And Esdeath looks around saying, "Damn it, where are we?" As she looks to see that they're on a beach, but when she looks to see Midoriya seemed terrified. He starts yelling, saying, "No, no, 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 no! It was right there! It's him! Damn it! That Imperial arm! He's the one that..." As Esdeath cuts him off, saying, "Izuku, are you alright?" As Midoriya looks at Esdeath and he realizes he was yelling. "Damn it! Keep yourself in check, Midoriya." As Esdeath said, "That person is what? And what's with that Imperial arm?" As Midoriya looks at her, and he said, well, it's a long story." As Esdeath said, "You can tell me all about it, right now." And Midoriya just gulps his throat, saying, "Oh, damn it. Well, guess you got yourself cornered, Izuku. This will be hard to explain." Anyway, this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to tell me down in the comments what you think about this part, and what's gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.